Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. My name's Cody. I go by Seek and Open Air on all of these social medias, Instagram. If you're not following me, go check me out. Today, as the title says, throwing on some lights on the Tacoma. I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to LASFIT. They actually sent out these lights for me to test. So I'm going to be throwing them on, making my own wiring harness, and then comparing them to the diode designs that I already have. So stick around and let's get into it. Alright, so this is what we got in the box. It's a little dusty, it's been sitting, but let's get this open. Snug fit. There we go. So right off the bat you can see I did get the yellow lens, and I did get the spot, and I'll talk more about why I got the spot in a bit, but to continue unboxing, take that off, and we obviously have the lights. We get some mounting hardware, so there you go, 2 of those, and then the lights. Which, in my opinion, this is packaged really well. I've had other lights from other brands that have not come packaged this well, but there you go. Look at that. And then about, what, 20-inch pigtail, which is different than most, because most of them will go right into the back of the light. So I do like that there's just a direct pigtail. You can make the connection that way. So let's get the other light pulled out here. Side. And then we get the accessories pack. So overall, great packaging. And then in here, got a few more things. So connectors for the actual pigtails, so here and here, just like that. I don't really have to demonstrate that for you guys, but and then you do have to wire it up obviously on your own. They do sell a complete wiring harness that I opted not for because I do have an aux beam switch panel in my truck that I wire everything up to, and I do prefer just to build my own wiring harnesses when I can. Because then I can make them the exact length and run the right wire, all that stuff. So there's 2 of those. There's the other one. And then we have all the hardware we need to mount this thing, both to the bracket and then to wherever you're going to mount them to. And kind of already explained it, but I will be throwing these in the A-pillar position, what most people know as ditch lights, but I'll explain here in a bit why they're not going to be ditch lights. Alright, so let's talk about lens. A lot of these light companies offer a variety of lens, because really all these things is just the powerhouse, right, or the light output, and then on top of that is some sort of filtration to control the light output. So you see this with diode, Baja, aux beam, LASFIT. Pretty much all of them do this nowadays. So cool part about that is you can buy one type and you don't have to get a whole nother pod or 2 pods if you want to swap the light output. So when you go online and you're picking out what you want, you'll see a handful of options. Don't be overwhelmed. Really, there's a really good rule to follow, and as you build your truck, obviously look at what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be going. But the general rule of thumb is, as the light sits higher on your truck, the more of a focused pattern it should be. So meaning, like down here, I have a SAE fog, which is a very wide pattern, and these are actually going to be a spot because they're going to be up on my A-pillars in the ditch light position. Now most Toyota owners, all owners, Jeep, whatever you want to name, they will put more of a wide pattern up on the ditch lights. However, I already have these guys right here, which is a combo pattern in a smaller light, and these are angled outward to cover my ditch blind spots, or to be my ditch lights. So I will be putting this up on the A-pillar, and they will be kind of pointed almost straight ahead, not quite. And since it's a spot, I won't get all that glare on the hood because it's a very focused beam pattern. So there you go. So install's pretty straightforward. You're going to take the bracket that they gave you and run the bolt and nut plus lock and lock washer. Tighten that down. You will need some sort of ditch light bracket. That's what they're called, or under hood bracket. I've had these from Cali Race for quite a while now, as I used to run lights up here. So I pulled them out of storage and they're going back to use. So a lot of different companies make these. You can search pretty much through anyone and find some, and they're fairly inexpensive. So once that's on there, go ahead and grab the pod, and you will have 2 bolts on either side, again with the lock and washer, and then just run it through. Just like that. And then obviously you have the pigtail, and this is going to run down zip tied to the bracket and then underneath the hood into the engine bay. And obviously tighten this up. Alright, they're on. It's the easy part. So let's pop the hood, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the wiring. Alright, so here's everything we are going to need for wiring. I had some black 14 gauge just laying around, so I'm going to use that. And then went and got some red 14 gauge. Got some wire conduit. Always wrap everything you make in something so it's protected. Just some really general butt connectors, electrical tape, and then our good friend zip ties, because I always need zip ties. Okay, and then coming into the truck, this is my organized, somewhat of a rat's nest. I got all my wires tucked back in there, but this is my aux beam switch assembly. If you haven't seen one of these, super cool, kind of like an S-Pod, but cheaper. You have all your fuses in there, and all you have to do is run your positive and negative to this box, rather than through the cab and have relays and all that good stuff. So that's ultimately where we're going to end up running the wires. If you'd like to see me make a dedicated video on that, let me know. Aux beams are becoming more and more popular, and wiring just in a whole can seem really intimidating. So leave a comment down below, and take that into consideration. And here are those pigtails. Bring them down. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. This one's already down here. And then now we gotta build a wiring harness. So pretty simple. I'm not gonna talk you guys through all of this part. I'll just kind of do some time lapse and give you guys the end result. here we have the harness complete. So got both ends, and then this just will run into my aux beam switch controller. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. A couple butt connectors, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there, hook it all up, and then we'll be good to turn on. Alright guys, everything's on, buttoned up, wired. Truly isn't that bad. At the end of the day, lights are pretty straightforward. To give you guys a rundown on everything on the truck now as far as light goes, here's what we got. So, of course, the brand new LASFIT 3-inch spot pods. Down in the bumper, we have the Diode Dynamics SSC3 Pro, or SS3 Pro, one of those, in the SAE fog pattern. Next to those are the S2s by Diode Dynamics in the combo. Those are both in yellow, of course. And then in the middle, we have, don't know the brand, but 30-inch off Amazon, super cheap, white light bar. And that is, I want to say, like a combo pattern, because it's not very far, it's not a lot of throw, but it's a pretty wide spread. So with that rundown, you know all the lights, you know what's on the truck. I'm just gonna wait till nighttime, and we're gonna compare all of these just to see how they stand up against each other. So see you out there. Alright, you guys, bad lighting, but oh well. It's nighttime, we're out here, and I'm going to kind of show you guys what we got going on, and I got everything adjusted, so time to point the camera out the window and show you the lights. What we've got now is the headlights, and then just to kind of walk you through the options. So fogs, those are the Diode Dynamics SS3s, and then if we move on to my ditch lights, kind of tough to see, but throw some light out into the ditches, so even further out than my fogs would reach. And then the bumper 30-inch light, and then finally the new LASFIT 3-inch spot pods. Obviously these trees are pretty close to me. Ideal, I think it would be more of a wide open use where these spots are really throwing light down ditches still, but further out in the distance, that way I can kind of see what's coming up. I'm really happy with this, and if you guys haven't seen, this is that aux beam, so just really quickly can hit on and off and throw everything on or off. Super handy. But yeah, let's get some glamour shots going. Wow, that's bright. That is bright. I also just want to point out how little glare there is on the hood. That was by far my biggest complaint with my other ditch lights. was just how much light got thrown onto the hood. And you can mediate that with a like film or a black wrap thrown on the hood, but I just don't like how those look. So I'm really happy with the amount of glare on this. All right, and then the last little comparison here, and this is not apples to apples, this is definitely apples to oranges, and by that I mean the lenses are just so different, right? So I'm going to be showing you guys the difference between Diode, Dynamics, and LASFIT. Again, LASFIT has the spot lens on it, and the diodes have the SAE fog. So very, very different light dispersion, but still kind of give you an idea of like the color and whatnot. So here we go. That is just the diode, Dynamics fog lights, and then if we flip on the spots, and I'll kind of show you back and forth. So just the spots, again, kind of throws light down those ditches out a ways, and then we got the SAE fogs. And I'll go back one more time. SAE fogs, everything off, headlights, spot, fogs. So, I mean, I'm super stoked. These things are awesome. I don't think you can go wrong. There's definitely like Amazon brands out there, but this is not an Amazon brand. Again, full disclosure, they sent these to me for free, but I'm being completely honest in my review. The only thing I can really complain about, and I don't know how well you can see this. Actually, you can see it pretty well. So those are the LASFIT, obviously those are the diode. Just a difference in colors. I do prefer this warmer kind of like amber yellow, and this is more of like a harsher, I guess more towards a green or like a neon yellow. So only gripe, other than that, they're great so far. I just can't wait to get out and use them. So I'll link them down in the description below. Go check out LASFIT, and I do have a discount code that I will drop in the description below. It's just my name kind of shortened. It'll get you 10% off your cart at LASFIT. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you did like it, and if you want to continue getting more content from me. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See ya.